Why play Ziggs Mid? Well, he has very long range, he deals tons of AoE damage, he has a surprisingly good escape, and he's amazing at zoning and securing objectives. However, he can struggle against strong engage locking him down, and all of his abilities are skill shots, so he can struggle against high mobility. Ziggs' passive is periodically his next basic attack deals additional damage, and this damage is massively increased against structures. The cooldown of this passive goes down every time Ziggs casts an ability. Ziggs' Q is a skill shot which throws out a bomb which can bounce up to 2 times. The bomb will explode after bouncing twice or when hitting an enemy or terrain. When it explodes, all enemies nearby are dealt damage. Ziggs' W throws a circle on the floor which will remain there for 4 seconds. After the 4 seconds, or when Ziggs presses W again, this will detonate. Enemies hit are dealt damage and knocked away from the center of this ability, and if Ziggs is within the ability, he will then dash a large distance away from the center of the ability. Also, this can be thrown at a tower on low health to destroy it. Ziggs' E throws out a minefield onto the floor. Enemies that are hit by any of these minefields are dealt damage and slowed. They take full damage from the first mine, and enemies going over multiple mines take 40% damage from subsequent mines. Ziggs' ultimate is a massive long-range skill shot where he throws out a massive bomb which creates a circle on the floor. When the bomb arrives at the circle, it deals a massive amount of damage to enemies hit. It also has a smaller circle within the middle which is the epicenter, and enemies hit by this take massively increased damage. For combos, you want to get your passive off as much as possible. A great go-to is to use auto attack into Q, E and W, landing an auto attack before detonating W again to launch them through the mines. And a good all-in is to use auto attack into Q, E and ultimate into another auto attack. Follow up with a W as needed and detonate it before spamming away with more attacks. For matchups, Ziggs is great into short range mages who he can constantly bully, and he can struggle into assassins who want to jump on him. For runes, take this, Comet is just great extra damage. For build order, start Ring and Pot into a Luden's Companion and tier 2 boots. After this, a Shadow Flame and Hat are great pickups before finishing your build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q then E then W before maxing Q then E then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, your go-to will be Flash and Teleport, however if you're against an assassin, Barrier can be a great choice too. Starting the game, your main focus is going to be on farming, and one of the best ways to get easy farm is by constantly harassing and poking your opponent out. One of the worst things to ever do against a Ziggs is walk into your own minions, as Ziggs can simply throw a Q at your minions, detonating the bomb, immediately dealing damage to you. So, if your opponent ever makes the mistake of walking into their own minions, punish them. When your opponent learns that they can't stand within their own minions, you'll now be throwing Qs at them outside of their minions, which means to land these you'll need to be able to predict their movement. You can also go for full combos with your auto attack into your Q, E and W combo into another auto attack. However, after you do this, when your W is on cooldown, make sure you play incredibly safe, as that is your escape. Entering the mid tower, you want to siege and destroy tower after tower. So take your mid tower as soon as possible, then rotate to the side lanes, and between your passive and W, destroy all the outer towers. Entering late game teamfights, you want to play as the backline mage. When the fight starts, you want to use your passive as often as possible. But when in doubt, or if enemies are grouped together, simply just throw out your Q, E and ultimate for tons of AoE damage using W to protect yourself.